Welcome, everybody, to Pizza Industry Convos. I'm your host, Michael Fox from Pizza Club. Tonight, I'm really excited to be joined by two gentlemen from Master Pizza, Jeremy Galvin and Michael LaMarca. They are also going to be organizing the Pizza and Pasta Northeast show, the pizza competitions. We'll talk about that tonight. So, first of all, welcome to Pizza Club, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us back again.
Of course. Thanks for willing to come back on. Tonight, I really want to focus on is the Pizza and Pasta Show. So, but before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about, for those who are not familiar with Master Pizza, and Jeremy and Michael, what you guys do.
My name's Jeremy Galvin, the president of Master Pizza here in Cleveland, Ohio. We run a small pizza chain here in Cleveland. Most of you know already, but we just opened up our 14th store in Streetsboro, Ohio. Working on number 15, so we're excited about that. It should open up sometime after we get back from Atlantic City, probably October or November. So we're real excited about that. Super excited about Pizza Pasta Northeast in Atlantic City to get that going. Can't wait to see everybody. Our good friend Siler Chapman stopped by today, visit us at our Medina store. We got to feed him, so that was really cool. He was going to pick up I think a camper or something for his family. So it was really cool to get to see him. I usually get to see him twice a year, so it's cool to see him 3 times in 1 year. So, yeah, man, we're super excited about it and excited to do a good informational show and excited to be on the show. It's a great. I've been enjoying the Clubhouse um, Club, the Pizza Club. Been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. I think it's been a lot of good info for everybody. So thank you.
Just to jump in a little bit more, I want to talk about Northeast Pizza and Pasta Show. Tell us a little bit about what the show is and who it's for.
It's a great food show. It's a nice extension, but addition to Pizza Expo. And there's a little bit shifted focus at this show. It is a Pizza Pasta Expo. So there is quite a bit more, obviously, pasta focused items that you see. The demonstrations that go on are a little bit more diverse in food options. I know that I think one of the stages was either renamed this year or something like that, that now it's focusing on menu additions or menu ideas, new menu ideas. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool show to get new ideas because there's different people that we don't normally see at the Pizza Expo in some cases. A lot of it's the same people, but there is different people there as well with some different information that I think is great. We started it right before. Let's see, we did I think 2 or 3 years before COVID hit, and COVID hurt pretty bad. You know, obviously, I think the show was 2 years old when COVID hit. The third year was supposed to be pretty big. There was a lot of good plans for the show, but COVID really killed it. And then when we went back last year was the first year back after COVID. Honestly, it was a great show. The floor was packed. All of the booths. When I talked to the people from the booths, said that they were excited about the foot traffic, and they made a lot of sales, which I mean that's what brings them back. So that's it's great for the show. But so it's a great show all in. It's a fun area. Sometimes Atlantic City gets a little bit of a bad rep. We have fun every year we go. We just kind of know what to do and what not to do. It's just like being in any city. You just got to know where to go and where not to go. And, there's a lot of good restaurants and good casinos, and it's fun. It's a good time.
So, the show is coming up.
It's October 1st and 2nd. But yeah, it's coming up real soon. We're pretty pumped.
Michael, talk
Yes.
a little bit about your guys' role in the show and a little bit about the competition.
So I guess technically, what are we, Jeremy? Event show coordinators or on-site
Yeah,
coordinators,
yeah,
technically.
yeah.
And, you know, I know last couple years, uh, just the way the business cycle has been, I've been very involved inside the stores during this time of period, and Jerry's done a lot more of the coordinating prior to the show. With especially with the demos and stuff like that. So we just don't are not just in charge of the competition area, but also the demos and other areas that are inside the show. So for me, during the week of the show, we go shopping. We pick up all the ingredients for the demonstrators, and the day of the competitions, it's go time for us. We are nonstop from we're first in the building and last to leave. We'll probably get in. I know I like to get in before anybody else does, just because I can't sleep. I like to make sure the ovens are on and hot, and make sure coffee's made, and and make sure everything's going because when it gets crazy, we don't have time to stop and think. So
That's
it's
for
just
sure.
nonstop. It's like a rapid fire of questions, one after another. It's nuts.
Talk a little bit about, for those who aren't familiar with pizza competitions at the show, like who is this for, and what's the goal of these competitions here in
So
AC?
I actually competed in Vegas long, long time ago, back in the day, and it's for someone exactly like us. Someone who is new to the industry, wants to get to know more about the industry and find out, you know, what's out there. If you want to learn what's out there, I think competing is the way to go. There's so many ingredients that I would have never even heard of unless I competed. It brings prestige to your place. It brings recognition to your place. That's just competing, let alone winning. I mean, winning is a whole nother level, or placing or doing very well. It's a game changer. It changes the whole direction of your business and your trajectory and everything you are planning. Because if you come home with a win, you go from you know X amount of orders a day to exponential amount of orders a day to it's a game changer. And it's I think it's vital if you want to make your way and advance in the industry to compete and be there.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that has gone to this show, either of these shows, honestly, and competed and not come out a better pizza maker than they were when they went in. You learn from just running the show makes me better, makes us better. It's for everybody. It's for everyone. If you're in the business, it's for you. If you're in the industry, it's for you. Um, you want to come to the show, learn lots of new things, like Michael said, compete. And honestly, in many cases, some of the people that have been competing, have done it for 10, 20 years. You don't really come to this thing unless you think you've got a great pie and that you do a great job. So it's very often you're competing against the best in the world. I mean, many of the best in the world. And every once in a while, man, you find somebody that gets, I don't want to say lucky, but they crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's and got that little bit of luck that you need to win, and they become one of the best in the world. I've seen that happen, and man, is that exciting. So if you're passionate about pizza, it's for you.
Definitely. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was sort of the difference between what happens in Vegas and what happens in AC. So, for those who don't know, the pizza show that happens in Las Vegas in March now has different competitions than what's happening in DC in Atlantic City in October for the Northeast Pizza and Pasta Show. So, can you guys just talk us a little bit about what's different now about the competitions in AC versus Vegas?
Yeah. In Vegas, there's four main categories in Vegas: traditional, non-traditional, pan, and Neapolitan. And that's kind of floated around over the years. We've tried some different things in Vegas, some different categories that kind of came with a fad and went away and things like that. Um, so when we were working with Pizza Today on the show for Atlantic City, you know, we wanted to kind of extend the International Pizza Challenge brand into this officially. Before it was just kind of its own show with its own naming and things like that. We really wanted to kind of connect the two, but at the same time keep them different enough that it makes sense for pizzeria owners to go to both shows, not just to learn different things and see different vendors and things like that, but to compete in different categories. So we worked with Pizza Today this year to really differentiate the competitions themselves. In Atlantic City this year, we have, for the first time, America's Best Cheese Slice, which is really just a cheese pizza competition, which is super exciting. We've talked about it with our competitors for a long time, doing a cheese pizza competition. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we have the Roman division, which we had I think 1 or 2 years we did Roman in Vegas.
Yeah, we did it 1 year. Yeah,
Was it just 1 year?
yeah,
And that went pretty well. It was a new division. There was a lot of new rules and different rules and different specs that you had to follow. So that was kind of I think it was a learning experience for a lot of people that didn't do Roman before. And then also here we have the gluten-free division, which is also it's a division that's coming back. We used to do gluten-free in Vegas as well. Pretty excited about that. And then we also have the Fiero Cup, which is a sponsored Neapolitan division. And then there's also the calzone competition and the pasta competition. So it's pretty exciting. There's bagel. There's also bakery. There's the bakery side, bagel competition. There's a cookie decorating. I mean, it's a ton of cool stuff going on.
And by the way, you guys are responsible for all those things that you mentioned, not just the pizza, which
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody knew that. I didn't know that until you told me the other day, but it's pretty wild.
It's a lot of responsibility, um, but we like it. It's fun. We get to really, it keeps us deeply involved in the community, make a lot of friends. We learn a lot of stuff. We get to see trends before they're trends, you know. We can, and if we can figure out how to do it in our stores, we can be on the tip of that spear, which is pretty exciting.
I want to take us through what goes into the setup and the preparation. What is it that you're planning before you guys get there?
For the competition, we work closely with Pizza Today to make sure that we have, you know, a good selection and count of ovens, which Bill Oakley, I'm sure everybody listening and watching this knows who Bill Oakley is.
yeah.
You know, he is the backbone of this thing, and you know, he does a great job. He gets it done every year. We've got a huge selections of ovens this year. It's very operational before you go in. We're focusing on that. We're focusing on making sure that we have the right cooler space. This year we're going to have a walk-in cooler instead of the two-door coolers. And if that goes well, maybe we'll look at that for Vegas too. So we're pretty excited about that. We think and work a lot on the rosters for the competitions. That's a lot of work because there's some rules to that the computers can't. I don't know if there's not the right algorithm or what, but the computers don't know the rules. Each individual can only compete in one pizza category. So sometimes it will let people sign up in multiple, so we have to go through and we helped Pizza Today go through and find duplicates and remove those and move people around. And, you know, the amount of people that move from division to division for whatever reason is total insanity. So we have like these huge color-coded spreadsheets. Michael's seen them. This is not the kind of stuff that goes out because it's not that it's secret or anything like that, but like it would just stir someone's mind. They'd look at it and be like, "What is going on?" You know,
We get changes a day of, middle of the
yeah,
competition, and someone can't make it because of travel, and it's
yeah. This week I'll probably get the rosters. So like for me, this is go week. Like this week I'm going to get the rosters. This weekend / next week I'll be building the whole inventory list for the food and all the other stuff for the demonstrators. I'll be starting to sort the rosters, going through them, and then we'll work on that for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, adjusting the rosters as changes come in. And then there comes a point where we work with Pizza Today where we create what's called the God list, and that's where Pizza Today hands it to us completely. Any changes from that point on, they forward to us and we make the changes because there's just too many moving parts. So then the God list, we print them every day at the show. Every day at the show, Michael has his God list in his pocket. I have mine on my clipboard or whatever, and we mark them as we go. And if someone's father comes up and says, I can't compete, my daughter's going to compete, or my son's going to compete, we scratch it out, write the name in, and then later on that day it gets fixed on the God list so that we can keep track of everything. It's wild. I mean, it's really fun, but it's wild.
and Jeremy, at the end of the night, while everyone's in their rooms or going to dinner or whatever, we're usually in the back room going over my God list, his God list,
Yeah.
comparing lists, making sure everything is correct, and
Yeah,
we
we'd
don't
love
miss
to
a
go
beat. And
party with everybody.
yeah,
We never go to the dinners, you know, with our
no,
vendors and stuff. And it's not that we don't want to go. But listen, this is a
it's a
big
big responsibility.
responsibility, and we take it very seriously. These are life-changing things for people. Um, and we try very hard to get it right all the time. Obviously, we're human; mistakes can happen, but we try to keep those few and far between.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a buzzsaw. It's truly a buzzsaw. But I enjoy it. Michael enjoys it. We have a good time.
What are some of the things that people should be looking at as they're planning to go to the competitions, and things from transporting ingredients to making their dough? Let's start there. Sort of like what is the things that come up a lot from pizza makers, or things maybe they get wrong even before they get to the show.
We get asked all the time about dough. What kind of dough do you guys have on spot? Well, we don't have any dough on spot. You got to make the dough there or bring it. And one of the things that I always tell people, especially, traveling and competing is, when you get to the airport, if you're bringing your ingredients, you're not allowed to have ice. You need ice packs. You're never allowed to carry your stuff with ice. You
A
need to
gel
have,
pack or something.
correct, a gel pack or something like that. I always freeze my dough, especially doing the kind of pan pizzas we do. I freeze my dough, and as it travels, it slowly thaws. And by the time I get to wherever I'm competing at, usually my dough is ready to go. Or if I have to make it on site, I bring flour with me. I know it sounds crazy, but this is not to be silly. I wrap it up, and it looks terrible, like in your suitcase. But like we write, we're pizza chefs. We're traveling. This is flour. And then we have knives and all this stuff. We say we're competing, and usually I bring wherever we're going, like a pamphlet, whatever, and it always gets inspected. But expect your stuff to get taken out. Have a plan B. Bring everything as much as you can with you. Be ready for plan B and to go shopping when you get there because something's going to break. Your dough's not going to make it, so be ready to make dough on site. Bring flour, bring your ingredients. Be ready to know where to go get new ingredients if they don't travel well, if they don't make it. It's all about planning. Um, I have checklists every time I travel because you just got to have it ready to go whenever you need it. There's refrigeration on site, but be ready if there isn't. I mean, it's uh, we have tools. We try to think of as many tools as humanly possible that you can need. But if you have a certain knife you need, I would bring it. If there's a certain peel you need, if you're doing Roman and you have a certain pan you need, bring it. We may not have all that stuff. We may have it. It's better if you're a competitor, and like Jeremy said something really earlier that I love it. All your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. A competitor that has that done has everything with them and is ready in case something isn't it doesn't make it. It's a simple run to Whole Foods and getting, you know, uh, a tomato that you need as compared to hoping that tomato's there. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a competitor, it's all about preparation and being ready. It's all about preparing. I have a bag with me. It's already pre-packed. It's at Jeremy, it's at the office. He knows what I'm talking about. It has all my ingredients, all my tools, everything with me. If I ever have to travel, I just grab my bag. I don't have to think. It's all there. So that's so important. If you really take it serious, if you want to place, if you want to get a chance to win, the more prepared you are, the more of a plan you have, the better chance you have to win.
For sure.
I think it's excellent advice. And a lot of people think, well, I'm just going to come and go to the vendors and walk around. Is that shopping? Was that what you would consider shopping?
No. No,
No, a shot.
that's
Tell us.
gambling. That's gambling.
That's begging.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it. You know what? If you're in
Yeah.
a pinch, that's the kind of thing you should do if
Okay.
you're in a pinch. But like Michael said, you don't want to come to this thing depending on anyone but yourself. If
Yep.
you do, you're probably going to be in trouble. You're probably not going to get too far. That doesn't mean for sure, but it's important to be prepared. And then on site, we tell everybody at the big meetings that we have at the show, come test bake. Like you gotta come test bake.
Hmm.
Bring enough stuff that you can make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pizzas before the competition if you can. And you got to commit to this, like I can't tell you how many times I talk to a competitor and they're like, yeah, I compete on Tuesday. What time? Because I land Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Sure.
And I'm like, I mean, obviously I'm nice, but I'm like, bro, I mean, I know that how that's going to go. That person is going to be
Yep.
playing catch up the whole time, and you got to commit to this. These are ovens you've never used, even if it's your oven, even if you own the Mara 40 that you're going to use, or the Pizza Master, or the whatever oven it is. It's still a different oven. The stones are different. We all know, if you're in pizza, every oven is a little bit different. So you gotta, really take your time and get to know that stuff. So
Mhm.
I'm not a huge competitor. I've done it. That's why all competitor questions I defer to Michael because he's obviously a freaking pro. Um, but I at least know that, because I can't tell you the
Yeah.
amount of times I've seen somebody there that's there late at night practicing, 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 and then
Yeah.
they almost always are doing pretty well. I don't want to say that they win because that's not the case, but they're high on the list. They're high
There's that
towards the
there's that
top.
young lady, the young lady last year in Vegas. I can't remember what competition she was in. She was the first one there and the last one to leave every day. And she was practicing, practicing, practicing. She placed.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I can't remember
It's
what
from
division she was
it's
in.
from around here by us.
It was Vegas. No, it was no.
I
She
mean the
wasn't
pizza
from
place.
near
Oh,
us.
okay.
I can't remember where she was from, but I just remember she was with her dad and working every single night. And I'm sitting there like, it did not surprise me that she did well
Yeah.
because she knew the oven. Like Jeremy said, she was trying to figure out the best timing, and she was relying on herself and her ability, not their circumstances or the situations around her.
Right.
And the more prepared you are, it's not a coincidence. And guys, it's not a coincidence the same people every year do really well because those are the people that improve on improving themselves and how they compete every year.
Yeah, and you'll see people, a lot of people that we know, you'll see them go like ninth, seventh,
Yeah,
fifth, fourth, second, and then they're like, man, I was almost there. And usually if you start to see that trend in a competitor, man, it's coming. It's just a matter of time.
yeah.
As long as they stay focused, continue to improve, and all.
Like I said, we're the first ones there and the last ones to leave. I'll stay if someone wants to bake. I'm there
That's
to.
great.
Jeremy's there. We're there to listen. It could be in the middle of Topeka, Kansas, or it could be in the middle of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our world's inside that competition area. I don't care what's going on outside it.
Yeah,
Jeremy, what time I get there? 4 o'clock in the morning,
sometimes,
five
yeah,
o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
and
It's part of the reason
I
we go
know.
in early.
Yeah,
Enjoy a couple days and then go nuts.
yeah. But you know, if someone wants to go super early and test, we're there. There's no excuse that someone can't have that opportunity or stay late.
Yeah, as long
We're there.
they have Vegas is super free, super free with
Hmm.
us with that.
Accessible.
Yeah, Atlantic City's a little tighter. In Atlantic City, we have to be
Yeah,
out by 8 p.m. I think the earliest we can get in is 7 a.m. So that's a little bit more tricky. Um, but it's still doable. The competition's over at usually by 5 in Atlantic City. So there leaves a lot of time. There's a lot of time there to practice.
yeah,
I mean, but you're giving away the secret to success for these competitions. It's putting the
It
work
is.
in
yeah.
and testing and getting in there and you taking advantage of both of you guys too. I mean, you're a resource for them to access the facilities. What percentage of the competitors are doing the work?
It's hard to say, but I say under twenty
Yeah, I was gonna
percent.
say
I
20.
mean,
Okay,
I was gonna say 20.
so odds are in your favor if you
yeah,
Yeah,
if you want to put it in, right?
yeah, for real.
it's it really is. I mean, you see the people that are committed. Uh, I don't want to name people, but
That's fine.
there's a group of people that go every year that win every year that are the first ones there
Yeah,
everywhere and the last ones to leave every night.
for real.
And there's no and they win every single
I don't think
year.
we yell at
And
anybody more than them.
yeah,
Lovingly, lovingly.
yeah, and but I've never seen a team more committed, and it's guys, they work so hard
Yeah,
at making the best pizza every year, and it shows
yeah.
when they compete. Because I'll tell you this: when you compete, we're kind of Jeremy. I think you said Siler came up earlier today. We
Yeah,
had lunch with
yeah.
them, and Siler and I were kind of talking about competing in Italy, and we were just talking about how crazy it is. And as a competitor, the first time I ever competed there, it's like you walk out this this galley, and like you enter this like arena, and like there's all these ovens and there's cameras and there's flashing, there's lights, everything, and you immediately forget everything. And what you rely on as a competitor is like you don't want to think, you just execute. So like if everyone ever sees me compete, a lot of people, Dave Summers is like my guy. It used to be Samaski. Him and I used to travel all the time, but I lay all my ingredients out in order how they go on a pizza. And it's funny, like if anything goes on like prior to the sauce, I put it on, and like there's the sauce and there's the cheese and whatever I put on, and it's all in order. And even though it's all in order, there's so much going on when you compete. I mean, there's cameras in your face, there's microphones, people are trying to talk to you, they want pictures. I'll have like my Dave Summers, all my attention's on him, and he'll point like, this one's next. I know it sounds crazy, but you can get so distracted so quick, and without that practice and repetition, you'll forget, and your pizza will not be as good. And that's what we mean by working it and practicing it and doing it, is that having a plan and executing it, it works. It really does.
For sure.
Can you guys tell us a little bit about the process of judging? Because I'm sure that's probably the thing that you maybe get the most feedback on, or not. I don't know. I would just love to understand a little bit about what goes into.
Yeah, we definitely assist with Bill Oakley, Pizza Today. He has other members on his team that help put the judging list together, and we do too. It's a
Right.
big job, especially now as these competitions grow. We're planning. I don't want to get too far into Vegas, but we're planning Vegas. I mean, we literally started planning 2024 Vegas. We were on the bus to the airport. It hadn't even left yet, and we were already working on it. But in Vegas, we're gonna have 3 tables of 4 judges all day. So like the numbers that people are gonna see in Vegas is insane. Like we're gonna run 110 traditional, 110 non-traditional, I think 60 pan, 100 Neapolitan. Meanwhile, we have all these other new divisions going on. It's gonna be bonkers. But anyway, so there's a lot of heads that need to be at those tables, a lot of people that need to be at those tables, and Pizza Today, Bill Oakley, try very hard, and we try very hard to assist to make sure that the right people are at those tables, that understand the type of pizza that they're looking at and eating, to truly appreciate the style that it is, because some of the styles are very different, and if you don't know the style at all, you can't really do a good job judging it. So we try to help put that list together. Judging itself, we do build guides for the judges. We try to make it a little bit better every year in building the guides for the judges, giving them tips on how to, what to look for, how to think about it as you're tasting the pizza and eating the pizza and things like that. And that seems to help.
Yeah, as we put also in the judging, like, so a certain type of pizza they might be judging if they never had a Napolitan style pizza. There's some characteristics of what it is. If it's a Detroit pizza, or a pan pizza, some characteristics. So the judges are familiar with the style of pizza they're eating too.
And honestly, at this point, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare that we have someone at the table for a division that doesn't know what they're looking at. These are almost all pizza professionals. If they're not a pizza professional, they at least know and respect pizza, and they're a chef. Usually, the people that are sitting down, honestly, always, the people that are there are pretty well decorated themselves. So they're coming at it from a good perspective. And then, the other cool thing that we've been working on with judging, 2 really cool things that we introduced recently. We're trying to get it done in Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a little bit harder to get the quantity of judges that we need without diluting the quality, if that's a fair statement. We really like to have this new thing in Vegas now. I think we've done it. We have 4 judges, and so we have 4 scores. We take the highest and lowest and average those 2 together. Then we average that with the other 2. So it's a very tight. Anyone who competes in Vegas, you saw the numbers. You used to you'd go look at the board, and you'd see a 17-8 and then a 60 or something, some huge spread. And, the purpose of this is to tighten it up a little bit, make sure that one judge that just totally hated your pizza doesn't destroy your score, and vice versa. One judge that absolutely loves your pizza because it had their favorite topping on it or whatever. They're pros, so that's not supposed to happen. But listen, we're all human. We're all little subjective, whether we want to admit it or not. Uh, it kind of eliminates that. I don't want to use the word unfairness, but the variable. That kind of wild card variable, and it seems to be working out really well for us. The scores are tighter than they've ever been, which is great. That just tells me that we're running a better competition. And I think it's really good for the competitors as well. Like you said, we get a lot of feedback about the judging, and, I don't think there's a year. I'm sure there's conversations that happen all the time that, like, somebody was paid off or fixed or whatever. And, like, we do everything we can to protect this thing from that, any kind of behavior. Nobody's trying to put a judge at a table that we don't trust, for one. For two, there's so many pieces to this thing, where when it's blind judging, you can't put the brand names of any of your items on your card. If you do, it's disqualified. You can't send your pizza in with, an identifying characteristic aside from, unless it, food related stuff we
Yeah.
can't really argue, but, like, you can't send it in on a special plate. You can't send it in on, or whatever. You can't say what kind of flour you use, because then that's an identifiable trait that could sway someone even subconsciously. So we really wanted to try to eliminate that. And then, the second or third layer to that now is this averaging thing, which we're pretty proud of. I think it's working out well. So I hope that paints a little bit of a picture of the judging side of it.
Michael, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
Yeah, one of the things also to keep it, especially for myself and Jeremy, I know more myself is I don't touch anything with the judging, meaning, like, I'm out there coordinating everything, like out the show day of whatever. You know, I don't even see the scorecards, because I so there's no influence on anything other than our runner grabbing them and taking them to the back. It's we're more concerned in getting the body on the table, the pizza in the oven, and the next one. You know what I'm saying? And so we're the first to find out who wins, but we don't know until we know the winner, until they tally up the scores and they tell us, because we're
We got too
trying
much
to
to do.
you know yeah, too much to do, but I also we're friends with a lot of people, and we're just not we don't we verify and go over the scores afterwards, obviously, but it's all handled and by probably the best scorekeepers I've ever seen in my life. They're so organized and they're so precise. And I mean, when I said earlier, after the show, everyone's out doing their thing. Jeremy, one year we stayed till like 1 in the
Yeah,
morning, counting and counting and making sure things were 100% right before we
yeah.
left, because it was we had some, I think that
That
was
was the
with the
year, yeah, with the
Regents. Remember, it was the
region,
Regents,
with a placement of a
and we
city
wanted to make
was incorrect.
yeah, and we wanted to be 100% sure, so
We
we
redid
did
everything.
it 3 or 4
Yeah,
times.
multiple
Yeah,
times. I mean, it was brutal. That was brutal.
but we got the right
Yeah,
score in the right position, and it was,
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's all about making sure it's
yeah,
correct.
I know you guys take a lot of pride in making sure this is done right, and it's clear, in talking to you that this is important. And I'm sure it can be frustrating when you get the feedback from people that, oh, why did this happen or why did that happen? Like, how do you deal with that, and how does that impact you
Uh,
guys when you're dealing with people that are,
uh,
I guess, kind of questioning your, uh,
integrity. Yeah,
your ethics,
yeah,
integrity. Yeah.
I tell you, I can answer pretty quickly. I'm comfortable, and I know for a fact that we do the best we possibly could do. Is there, a chance there's an error once, slim to none, because we verify everything and check it over and over again. But in any impropriety or favoritism, it's just, I'm comfortable saying no, because we don't. It's just
yeah.
so I don't listen to it. It's nonsense, and it's something that We take, our name is on it, my personal name, our company name, Jeremy's personal name, our company name. It's not worth the risk. We get no benefit
Yeah,
from
doesn't help us. It hurts us. It hurts
anything.
us.
It
It would hurt
hurts
us.
us. It would hurt us.
But
We get,
like we do listen though. I
yeah,
mean, when even if it is something that is maybe just an emotional response to a bad outcome, which we've definitely had. Number one, we don't take it personally. Michael's a competitor. I've been a competitor, not as much so, but we've all been in that situation where you feel
yeah,
not good about the outcome, and you kind of feel, your emotions get the best of you, and sometimes I've seen people lash out, and I've taken that, and that's okay. We listen and we guide the person with the best answer, and sometimes we end up making a change to something. That big map that one year, we had to really figure out where, where what differentiated north from south, and it's an arguable point. That night we were there real late. I'm pretty sure that was the night. Um, we looked it up, we made a decision, and now we're sticking to it. And it kind of it was a benefit. If we wanted to be, if we wanted to just ignore it and blow stuff off, I don't think that would help better the competition at all. So we definitely pay attention. We definitely listen. When we get the negative feedback, same thing, we listen to it. Sometimes it's not something that is going to change, and it just kind of
yeah,
is what it is, depending on what the situation was. And other times we can make good changes that improve the competition.
Absolutely. I think that you have to take it in stride, and I think you guys understand that like it's a process to make it perfect. And listen, there's inherent biases in people eating pizza, even if you're a professional, right? Like you're gonna have your
For sure.
taste, and it's gonna be different than I'm sure even between you guys, like there's things that you like and don't like. So I think you guys get a lot of credit for putting yourselves out there and yourselves on the line every year. It's quite impressive. So I know we're getting to the end here. I wanted to kind of give you guys an opportunity if there's any advice or anything else you want to share to like people that want to compete, and also chance for those who haven't signed up
Right.
yet to know the opportunity if they're interested in jumping
If
on now.
they're if you are thinking about competing, stop thinking, jump in. If just make sure you stay committed
hmm
to it. You can go onto the Pizza Pazza Expo website, and once you register for the show, you can sign up for any of the competitions. Still have placement. If the computer has an option there to sign up, there is still openings. I don't have the most updated list, but I'm gonna guess there's a few left in each division. After the
yeah,
numbers that I saw the other day, I mean, most of them were probably 60% full. I think the best America's Best Cheese Slice, that one may be full by now. Um, but I honestly I don't have the numbers, but you can contact me on Facebook, or and I should know soon. I should get the numbers pretty soon. But yeah, if you're thinking about jumping in, you should, if you haven't done it. And for those
yeah,
competitors that are coming again, we'll talk to you soon. You'll probably get an email from us next week with it getting going, with more information about when to arrive, and picking up your wristbands and things like that, and when the meeting will be.
Michael, you want to add anything else before we wrap up here?
yeah. I think it's important if you're thinking about it, make the trip, make the investment. It's an investment in your business and yourself. What you put into it is what you get out of it. If you go to party and hang out, you're going to get nothing out of it other than a good time. If you go with the intention of learning, expanding yourself, challenging yourself, meeting new people out there, and having an opportunity to get face to face with some of the biggest people in our industry, you're going to come back a better pizza maker, a better business person, a shot of energy to keep going.
For sure.
So, I think it's an investment in yourself and in your business to go to these shows every year. I've gone every year since 2000, and I haven't missed one, and it's been invaluable.
We're excited to see you guys in Atlantic City soon.
Yeah.
Keeping this straight out of the tracks. How could people find you on social media? For what's the best way to follow you guys?
At Master Pizza comes to both of us. at Michael P. LaMarca on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff.
For those who want to sign up, what's the best way to get involved in the
The best
competitions?
way is on
Is-
the Pizza and Pasta Expo website.
Yeah.
That's the best spot. You can get on there. It's easy to register.
ppne.pizzatoday.com is the website. Michael, Jeremy, thank you guys both. Really appreciate your time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, please follow us on Instagram at I Need Pizza Club. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Michael Fox. We will see you again next time. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.